Oral Presentation Group D.
Good morning, Doctor. My name is Nur Shahada binti Zulkifli and my metric number is 261695. So today I will be giving my view of moral study subject in school. So the first one, do I support or object to the issue? So I can say that I do support and agree to the moral study subject in school because in my opinion, this subject have a certain characteristic that relates to human behavior like moral, ethics, justice, right, and so on. And this characteristic can actually influence an individual in terms of their act, their talk, or even maybe inspire to other people. Which is very important as this can become a culture that will be followed by next generation, and in order to make sure that this next generation follow it in the right way, then school feels started to play its role. Next is my view according to utilitarianism concept. So we know that utilitarianism is focusing on achieving greatest utility. Okay, so at school phase, this phase will expose to the children to the reality of the world. So in order for these children to cope with that reality of the world, they need to learn moral education. So once the moral education is being implemented in the school syllabus, and then the content within the moral education can actually help to shape the children's mind in the right track. And from that, they will be able to know what is right and what is wrong. And from that, they will be able to form a positive behavior within themselves. And at the same time, the person or any organization or institution that agree to put the moral education in school, they will be able to produce a good person within the community. So here we can see that the greatest utility exists between them both. Next is my view according to moral right concept. So first, in students aspect. So what can be said is that students do have a right to be success in their life. Okay, so that is why once the moral education subject is being implemented into the school syllabus, and then the students learn and they will tend to adopt the values that they learn from the subject into their daily life. Okay, and from here it actually shows that they have the commitment. Okay, they have to the commitment to be success in their life. Okay, and it also shows that they also have the right to actually receive the proper knowledge, which is the moral education itself, to encourage their spirit to be success. And in parents aspect, we can say that they are responsible to send the children to school. Because why? Because these children have the right to learn and to be success. Next is my view according to justice concept, and we will be focusing on distributive justice. So what can be said from these types of justice is that all students will have an equal right, okay, will have an equality in receiving the moral study subject, in receiving the knowledge of moral study subject in school. Okay, there will be no issues of excellent or non-excellent students exist. Okay, all students have the same chance, the equal chance to be success in their life. The last one is my view according to virtue ethics. So within this concept, it actually consists of positive elements like integrity, loyal, and then also honesty and so on. Okay, and all of these elements actually will be taught through the moral study subject itself. So that is why it is important to implement the moral study subject in school syllabus, because it actually will influence, okay, the students to form a positive behavior within themselves. For example, hardworking, kind, discipline, okay, and so on. Okay, and by the end, they will be able to achieve success in their life and also in the future. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Simshin Chen. Number metric is 261934. From my opinions, I strongly support and agree that moral studies subject in school. Nowadays, we can see that no matter in our country or others' country, moral studies subject almost is must in school, especially in Malaysia. Moral is one of the subjects which must take during exam in secondary school. So we can see that Moral study is very important in the world. First and foremost, moral must learn since young. In the children period, it is the best study time. Children always follow what they see from other people. So the children period is the most important to study moral. Once children had learned, they will know many moral knowledge. Furthermore, students can learn moral in school effect by teachers and friends. School is the place which combined by many different students from different backgrounds and different ethnics. Students need to know how to mix in with different background friends with harmony. Well, teacher also can be a role model in school. Students can learn from teachers about the attitudes and the moral. Nowadays, many parents are busy about their works, so they will no time to supervise and control their children's moral attitudes. So moral studies in school is very important, especially for the children which their parents are no time to accompany them. If parents not accompany them and nobody supervise children, the children will easily affected by other people. That's why moral study in school is very important to children. Sometimes, some families' study is not reliable. It is because some children had spoiled in their family. Children don't know what is the truth and what is false. Their moral attitudes is very bad and no discipline in home. But the moral study in school, children must follow the regulation and rules in school. They cannot do whatever they want. So the moral study in school is very useful, especially to the children. In conclusion, moral study in school is important to every student. It can affect the future and hope of children, students, and also country. If a school don't have moral, it will make students become no discipline and bad attitude. So I strongly support and agree that moral study in school. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Siti Nomalena binti Abdul Muiz. My metric number is 267804. Today, I will talk about my self-view of this topic. Do you support or object the issue? I agree more study subject in school because as a student, I strongly support and accept that the moral study should be taught in school because education can strengthen people's moral values, especially among students. Education, in my opinion, is the most effective means of instilling positive ideals in individual. Education is intended to produce intelligent, professional, rational, and autonomous region and environmentally as well as nationally responsible human capital. As a result, education and the teaching of moral value are critical in developing human resource that with their characteristic. Moral cognition, especially stage of moral growth, has expanded to include moral principle, moral feelings, moral behavior, moral sensitivity, and moral motivation. The goal of moral education is to help students grow into people with honesty and noble morality, as well as high moral expectation based on basic value and moral principles that contribute to the country's stability, growth, and well-being. Moral have a stronger society component and more widely accepted. Moral are much more concerned about right and wrong than most value. Value are the fundamental principle that form human action. If anyone follows simple life value, they will be unaffected by their surroundings. Someone's behavior will be driven by this theory. Value are a person constructive potential. Value are the guidelines on which we make choice on what is right and what is wrong. One important part of what determines morality in Malaysia is the role of Malaysian culture. As a multicultural society, the cultural norm of various ethnic groups shape massive culture norm. Certain culture values have been recognized as moral norm in some of all culture. Giving or getting something, for example, is performed with the right hand. Giving and receiving something with the left hand is considered impolite or unethical. As a culture standard in early has now become a moral norm in Malaysian society. There are several benefits of studying moral study in education, such as studying learning to recognize and appreciate moral value and problem of daily life. The next step is to improve moral judgment in order to make choice and solve more dilemma based on moral values. To cultivate moral feelings in order to become a more just and empathetic being. Aside from that, to behave morality, responsibility, and dignity. To encourage students to appreciate and implement moral principles in their daily life in order to become outright human. And to reinforce a set of self-unity in order to build a humorous community. Moral education seems to be the only subject of our education system that provides students with cognitive, affective, and action-oriented belief that helps them make moral decisions. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. My name is Muhammad Muizzuddin bin Sulaiman. My metric number is 2C8101. I will be explain about the part of self-view, the moral study subject in school. For the first is, do you support or object this issue? For my view is, I strongly agree that moral study subject in school. It is because the study of moral is very important to produce a human being of noble character. Indeed, noble morals are highly demanded from the point of view of our culture, civilization, and religion. The practice of pure value in moral subject can form a balanced human being in terms of physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual. Now the number of students in our country is 5 million people. If not inculcated with noble values in school, then there will be a generation that will be detrimental to the country in the future. This is because pure value will reflect the harmonious atmosphere of life in Malaysia. Then students will able to deepen the true meaning of value. I strongly support that moral study subject in school can know pure value and ethics. They will also be taught the knowledge of citizenship, which is the right character for a citizen and the right form of action that can be taken as a citizen, which can ultimately have an impact on the development of the country. Not only that, our students will learn integrity, trust, hard work, discipline, hatred of corruption, and abuse of power. The dangers of bullying, the importance of appreciate the disabled people, the importance of respecting each other's differences, the importance of maintaining unity in this country. Even more that they learn to love the homeland while functioning as a good citizen. Moral study subject in school can know pure value and ethics to the student. It will shape a good behavior and character for a better future for a community and country. It is also related and support by a virtue, ethics and justice concept in management ethics subject. For the conclusion, moral study is very relevant and good in the Malaysia because the student can now learn about the right and responsibilities for a pupil. The second that they also can identify the role and responsibilities of family members. In addition, students can interact and communicate politely with each other. They are also able to understand, maintain and appreciate the various religion, traditional and culture found in Malaysian society.
Hello, doctor. How are you? I hope you are doing fine. Before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Nana Nomisha binti Cik Sophie, and my metric number is 273229. According to the New Straits Times, this subject has died and been replaced by history subject in the schools. It was a subject much enjoyed by students. If taught with patience and care, it was a subject that brought Peninsular Malaysia, Sabah, and also Sarawak together as one nation with diverse cultures, explained and accepted by students. But as usual, we expected results overnight. Investment in civics and citizenship education have been in vain. However, some topics in the civics and citizenship curriculum were transferred to moral education's subject. Topics such as international law, human rights, and so on are currently being learned only by moral education students who do not make up even 40% of the entire student population. So, I'm here today to discuss should I agree or disagree about moral studies subject in the schools. From my point of views, I strongly agree with moral studies subject in the school. This is because where it comes to moral advancements, school is extremely important. In this phase, parents and others school is extremely important. In this phase, parents and others officials should be involved. Young people, on the other hand, are faced for the first time in school with the idea that they are representative of a both greater society and humanity. The school has a responsibility to help students develop into morally upright individuals. You can, for example, teachers can effectively teach standards, but they can't easily teach people to follow the laws unless you also teach ethics. As a result, it is important to instill ethical values in students. However, in the term of virtual ethics, how many times have we read stories of schools attacks, bullying, and test cheating? We also learn of women being degraded, brutality being advocated for dishonesty being condemned, public funds and programs being mishandled by professionally qualified engineers and policemen, patients being misled by well-educated medical professionals, children being tortured, and so on. Thus, this definition is based on positive qualities such as reliability, sincerity, and loyalty. Last but not least, my sincere hope is to see more members of society paying serious attention to what has transformed in our education system in the past 3 decades and suggesting practical and workable strategies to make our education system more progressive. That's all from me, Doctor. Thank you very much.
That's all for you. Thank you.